Wow, it feels so surreal to be making this right now. I have been back in the States for about a month now, maybe a little over a month, and I just thought it was time that I make an update video and just kind of update you all on what's been going on in my life, and what I did in Honduras, and also just like what my future plans are and what I'm doing now. So yeah, let's get into it. So I guess I'll just start from the beginning. So I met Ed and Valerie through a youth leader at my church. And at the time we were talking about how I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, but I knew that I wanted to do something with travel, and I knew that I really liked being immersed in different cultures. And so he was telling me that his wife's aunt and uncle are missionaries in Honduras, and that they take on interns, and that I could do that. And basically that I would just go and learn what it looks like to be a missionary there, and just kind of learn how to do life from them. And so I met with them over Thanksgiving, and they told me what it is that they do and what being an intern would look like for me, and basically what my life there would look like. And to be completely honest, before that meeting, I did not want to do it. I was very nervous for one, but also I was pretty stubborn, and Honduras was not the place that I saw myself going. I saw myself going a completely different direction with travel, and I mean, I knew that I was thinking about missions, but it was not missions in Honduras, for sure. And so me, being my stubborn self, was like, fine, I'll meet them, but I'm not gonna go. Like, I was just very stubborn about it. I had my heart set on where I wanted to travel, and it was in Honduras, and so that was that in my head. But after that meeting, my entire mindset completely changed. I realized that God was really moving me, and he was making it clear that that was where I was supposed to go. I was supposed to go to Honduras. And as scary as that was at the time, I felt completely at peace with it. Because, like I said, he made it very clear, like there was no doubt about it, that he wanted me to go to Honduras. And he set all the things in place for me to be able to go. So I texted them, and I was like, hey, let's do this thing, let's go. And so I started raising support for me to be able to go, and bought my plane tickets, and in February I was on a flight to Honduras. By the time that I was leaving the States, I did not have enough support raised, but everything in me was still like, still go, and God was telling me like, hey, I'll figure this out for you, I've already got it covered, just go, we'll figure out the rest. And that was terrifying because in my head I was like, I'm going, and I may have to get the rest of this money myself and figure it out myself. But every time I started to worry about it, I could just feel God's peace coming over me, and I could just hear him saying like, Janae, calm down, I've got this covered, don't worry about it, just focus on what you're here for. So I made it safely to Honduras, and honestly, the first week or so, I am pretty sure that I was just in shock, like the whole time. I think I was just completely in shock. It did not feel real to me at all. It did not really feel like I was there. But eventually I grew to be more comfortable, and I found my rhythm there and started doing life there. So some of my jobs while I was there was teaching English in one of our buildings to about 4 different classes, both morning and afternoon. I would help around the classrooms as much as I could with the language barrier. And pretty much just helping with whatever was asked of me. They really welcomed me into their family, and so we operated like a family would. So if dinner needed to be made and I could fill that spot, then I would. Or like when things needed to be cleaned up before a team came, I would pitch in there. And just like little things like that. About halfway through my time in Honduras, I got an email that the rest of my financial support was going to be covered, and I would be fully funded. And in that moment, I truly learned the beauty in patience and trust. It was an immense blessing. I really learned so much from so many people there. One of the questions that I've been asked the most since returning to the States is, what did you learn? And every time I hear that question, my stomach just drops. I get so like nervous and scared. And that's because I don't really know exactly how to answer that question. I learned a lot, but really it's because I learned life. I learned how to do life. I realized that the things that I was putting so much importance on and so much value in really meant nothing, and the things that I was pushing aside meant everything. I learned about family. Not only how to be in one, but how to create a healthy family, and that family is something you make and you can invite people into. I learned to take my time, and that being in a rush or being busy doesn't automatically mean that you have a good life. I found that I had been missing out on all the happiness and joys in life because I was so focused on the next thing. I learned that love and kindness climb every wall, including a language barrier. I found that you can show someone just how much you care just by being there, just by showing up. So, what did I learn? I learned that God's goodness, faithfulness, love, and grace fills every need and desire. To say I'm grateful to have the experience I had is an understatement. To be able to visibly see the blessings being poured into my life is something I couldn't put into words. How lucky am I to have another family who loves and cares for me deeply. To my family in Honduras, thank you. Thank you for taking me in and showing endless grace and support. Thank you for being a reflection of Christ and teaching me to be one as well. And to my family in Casa de Luz, to all the teachers and volunteers who taught me how to do everything there, thank you. And thank you for all you do for our kiddos, for loving them so well and genuinely pouring your hearts and souls into caring for them and guiding them. And to all the amazing, beautiful children at Casa de Luz, thank you for showing me love and showing me a new outlook on life. I love each and every one of you. Hola niños de Casa de Luz, gracias por todo y los extraño mucho. Nos amo muchísimo. So, now that I'm back, I've made a few big decisions regarding my future. I have decided that I will go to college and I plan on studying linguistics. My hope is to become a translator. I'm not sure in what capacity I would like to do that yet. I'm not sure if I want to do something in missions or somewhere else. I'm not sure where he's calling me yet. But I absolutely loved learning a new language and getting to use it to talk to people and to understand them and their culture a little bit more. So, that's where I'm at. Thank you to everyone who has been supporting me, whether it be financially or spiritually. It really means so much to me, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I hope that someday soon I can go back to Honduras and visit my second home. I love you all so much. Goodbye. Adios.